when you serve a very specific small group of people in a highly specific way, they will pay a premium for the value or the service or the time that you save. Like, this is, friends, the truest thing. I wish the biggest mistakes that I think about is when I didn't enter the market with a new product for a niche. I just want you to hear that. My biggest mistakes as a founder was entering with a new product without a niche, a new service without a niche. I should have always, hands down, niche first, then expand. So if you're asking me, oh, is it hard? Well, yes, but it's hard because you do the hard work on the front end and then you just repeat that model in a slightly different niche as you expand. So she had said niching broad, but with a target audience in mind. Yes, but you have to understand that a niche means small. Niche is actually a carve out from the old like Grecian areas. A niche is a small little part of a building in which somebody would put a statue normally, or some sort of like goddess or something to praise. It was small. So it's like niching broad, but with a target audience. That's actually saying two different things. A niche is small. The question you have to ask yourself is, am I willing to absorb the difficulty of a niche before I can go broad? If the answer to that is yes, please understand it will take longer than you hope. It will likely be more expensive based on all the lessons that you have to learn and the investments that you have to make. But that success will run deep and will last a long time. You do that, and the benefit becomes once you've built out that model, once you've proven the systems within that niche, you can take the same thing and apply it to a slightly different niche. That is the path to expansion. Trisha Treelenberg photo. How do you actually, this was upvoted 5 times. How do you actually keep up to date with what actually gains traction on social media without burning out? I find it exhausting that I often just stop trying because it takes so much energy. Okay, Trisha, you are not alone. Now, I have come to learn, and again, it's my opinion, I don't think this is like the definition of burnout, but I have come to learn when I look back at my career that burnout happens when you don't like what you're doing. So I will tell you, Trisha, there have been times in my career where I am working 15 or 16-hour days, and at the end of the day, I wake up, I pull my head up, and I'm like, I can't believe this. This has been so incredible this day. Yeah, it was long, but it was so worth it, and it was amazing, and I loved it. And then there have been days in my career where I'm working 15 or 16 hours, and I'm like, I think I want to crawl in a hole and never come out. It's not the hours that you're spending that burns you out. It's the hours you're spending things that you don't want to be doing that leads to the burnout. So I need you to make one decision daily. Am I going to post today? That's it. Am I going to post today? And if you say no, own the no. It's okay. I don't need you posting on social media every day. I don't know if your business needs you posting on social media every day. But if you say, no, I'm not posting, then own that and understand if you're not getting results on the back of social media, it's because likely you're not posting on social media. But if you make the decision to post at least once a day on social media, then you have to say, in order for me to post once a day, then I need to make the commitment to do that. In fact, recently, over the past year in 2024, and then as we got into 2025, I started realizing that I wanted to make myself be accountable to nobody but me. And I realized that when I was at the gym and I was sharing that I was working out, like I had always been working out. That has never been the thing for me. But what I realized was that I was giving myself the ability to be inconsistent with my workouts. And so I told myself, I'm going to take a picture every day that I'm at the gym for nobody but me. And I'm going to put it on stories because it disappears after 24 hours and people will probably be annoyed, but it's not for anybody but me. It's for me to stay accountable. And so on social media, I started posting a picture of me at the end of my workout. And my mantra every time I leave the gym is like, I didn't want to work out. I'm glad I did. Didn't want to do it. Glad I did. And I started showing picture after picture after picture. And then slowly other people started posting the same mantra. And one day my business partner, my co-founder, JD, had asked me, do you think that people know that your mantra is not just for working out, but for business? And I thought to myself, oh, I don't even think that I realized that that mantra was just as much for business as it was for working out. There are so many things in the business that feel so heavy. Social media is one of them. I don't wake up and like, I'm so excited to post on social media today. This gives me life. This is amazing. You want to know what? Every time that I make a plan for social media and every time I post on that day, you want to know what I tell myself? Didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make that piece of content when I made it. And I almost didn't want to spend the time to actually write a caption for it. And I didn't want to do it, but I did it. And I'm glad I did. So I understand, friend, that you feel overwhelmed and burnt out. But all I need you to do is make the decision. Am I posting? And if the answer is yes, then you gotta make a way to do it, period, the end. And if the answer is no, hey, no problem. I'm here for you. It's all good. But you cannot complain about the results that you don't have from the work that you don't do. That's it. And I say that with a lot of love. All right, Melissa Gilbo asked, what's your advice on using scheduling software for posting? It feels very much like a set it and forget it approach. I find true connection comes from in the moment posts or what's on our hearts and then engaging with others. So first and foremost, before I get into my answer, I'm going to tell you that as somebody who has advised and coached and taught and mentored entrepreneurs, I already know her answer. When somebody comes to me with their answer, I'm not gonna spend any time trying to change your mind. Are we on the same page here? But because her her question was upvoted 3 times, I'm gonna honor this space. But you and I are being real, right? What is she actually asking? When I do coaching on the inside of Social Curator, we have a coaching methodology and an acronym called QUA, Q-U-A-A. And this is how I coach. Somebody asks Q a question, and then my job as a coach is to look at you, the underlying question. There's always a question under a question. There's always a question under the question. Then the first A is action. Well, what are you gonna do now? Because it's not enough to get an answer or insight. And after you take action, accountability. How do you find a group of people to do it with you to keep you accountable? That's QUA, question, underlying question, action, and accountability. So when I read Melissa's question, what advice on using a scheduling software? That's her question. What's her underlying question? Do you agree with me? Can you co-sign? I wouldn't try changing somebody else's mind, but I will say, based on walking through over 40,000 entrepreneurs on the inside of Social Curator, this answer is not a one size fits all. Because I actually do agree with Melissa. Posting in real time allows you to engage and see things differently. And when you schedule, it doesn't have to be, but sometimes it lends itself to a set it and forget it. But the thing that I know is doing whatever you need to do to stay consistent is the best. There are so many entrepreneurs who, if they don't plan it and schedule it, it won't get done. So if you're asking me which is better to, plan it, schedule it, and maybe not engage in real time or not post at all, you know what I'm gonna say, right? Overall, yeah, I wish everybody posted in real time because in social media it would feel real. And at times it just feels so acrimonious. And in January 2025, Mark Zuckerberg came out and said openly that they were changing the terms in which content was actually being distributed and what was gonna be what he called censored, and it changed the platform forever thereafter. And so oftentimes when you set something and you forget it, you run the risk of kind of being tone deaf to what's actually going around. So overall, if you can post in real time, well, great, I see you, I honor that. But for the vast majority of business owners and entrepreneurs and founders, it's very difficult. So I'm gonna say, do whatever you need to do to stay consistent. If that is using a scheduler, bless it all. And if it's not, bless it all. But do what you need to do to stay consistent first and foremost. Zach asked, what's your best advice for being unattached to the outcome and keeping motivated regardless of the outcome? Before we talk about what I believe I'm going to say, I need to come out and clearly outline when it comes to the outcome is always unpredictable. The outcome is always uncertain. The outcome is always a lesson, and the outcome is always happening for you. So when you say, or you ask, how might I be unattached to the outcome? Well, first we need to redefine that an outcome isn't a result. I could tell you the exact definition of an outcome. Unpredictable, uncertain, a lesson is always happening for you. If you say, how do I remain unattached to the outcome? Well, you can't stay attached to something that's unpredictable. You can't stay attached to something that's gonna be like a little bit of a sore tooth in your mouth. So if you say, how do I stay unattached? Understand it will never look or work the way that you had expected it. But I want you, Zach, to understand that everything is happening for you. If you say, I have a goal, great. In fact, I would encourage you when it comes to goal setting, I always encourage people to have a good, better, best goal because there's a range and a wide swath of how you might win. Oh, we did a good job here. Oh, we did a better job here. This is the best we've ever done. This is our big stretch goal, right? So I encourage you to have a good, better, best. But you want to know what? The thing I hold true again and again is I am in control of the effort. I am not in control of the outcome. I am in control of the work I do to get a result, but the result in and of itself is not controlled by me. So if I know that I gave it 110% and I stuck a fork in an electric socket and I learned a bunch of lessons and I did it wrong and I totally messed up, you want to know what? It was happening for me because the next time I do it, watch out. Because if you didn't kill me, I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying? So how do I remain unattached? Did I do everything I could? Because if I did everything I could and I learned lessons, next time we're getting better. House of Pistachia. House of Pistachia. What key strategies would you recommend to entrepreneurs looking to scale their businesses while staying aligned with their core values and vision? When you want to stay aligned to something, repeat it. If you want to stay aligned, every time I go to the gym, I'm telling you, I do not want to go there. I do not want to go there. I do not want to go there. I do not want to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I do not want to walk in the cold gym. I don't want to park in a parking structure and then take 10 minutes to walk in. I don't want to go up and work on a platform or lift weights when at the time that I go to the gym, it is 98% men working out in the morning and I'm up there and I feel a little bit uncomfortable. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm weak sauce because I am. But the thing that I tell myself, which is my personal core value, is you are mentally strong and you are physically strong and you are strong for her. And her is my daughter. My core value is I decided to change my life in 2022. I deeply struggled becoming a mom and an entrepreneur and building a tech SaaS company in 2020. I put on a lot of weight and I didn't know that I had put on a lot of weight. I was wildly stressed. And if I look back at it, I was like, oh girl, I think you were a little unhappy. It was a little hard. And I didn't know how much weight I had put on. I realized that if I want to live a long, healthy life with my daughter, I need to build muscle mass. I need to change my relationship with what I put into my mouth and I need to celebrate the journey. My core value is I am strong of mind, I am strong of body, and I'm strong for her. That's my core value that I repeat again and again. So how do you stay consistent with your core values as a company? Repeat your core values. Let everybody know within your organization what those core values are. If I were to walk down a hallway and I'm looking at a member of anybody as part of our organization, I'm going to ask them, give me one core value. They need to know we have 3 core values, and that is to own it. That is play to win, and that is extraordinary is our baseline. Repeat those core values. And I want you to use your core values as an anchor to your vision. How do you stay aligned? You ask yourself, that's the vision. Have we departed? Are we not being extraordinary? Are we not playing to our best? Are we not thinking and acting like Olympians? Are we not sacrificing the things that we need to do? Are we not going above and beyond to blow people's minds? Are we blaming or pointing fingers? Are we running late on our tasks? Are we not dependable? Because if those are the things that are going to keep us from the overall vision. And lastly, I want you to use your core values in team assessments. How can you tell somebody, I think there's room for you to improve? Or how can you tell somebody, I think you're killing the game? You can't say, like, I feel this way. As a leader organization, as somebody who's giving feedback, you can't say, well, what I feel is. Feelings change. Feelings are fleeting and feelings are super individual. If I want to tell you you're doing a good job and I say, I feel like you're doing a good job, well, what mood am I in? How does that assess? If I'm sitting across somebody and I'm like, I think you're doing a good job because here's how you have owned these responsibilities and you smashed it. Here's how you played a one. I saw you show up in times and desperate measures and you did incredible things like an Olympian would do in the last minutes of a game or a competition. And I have seen you be extraordinary. I've seen you be extraordinary in this instance, That is using your core values to reiterate what it is that you do. In January of 2025, I debuted a podcast talking about how to build plans for your year, how to build and plan for your year. And there I also debuted that we had released a new set of core values for our organization. And we're using these core values to reach a new vision and act in new ways. So that's gonna be my encouragement to you. What are your core values? Repeat them again and again. Use your core values to point you to the vision and use those core values in team assessments. All right. That is going to be a wrap up. I mean, the questions that you guys brought were just sheer fire. And if we are not connected on any social media platform, please find me at Jasmine Star. When I ask for your questions and you deliver this goodness, we could do this all day, every day. I'm here to serve. If you found this interesting, insightful, if you learned anything at all, it would mean the world to us for you to drop a review. It takes 30 seconds, but I'm telling you, it will give you 30 years of good luck, kind of, sort of. Thank you for watching and listening to The Jasmine Star Show.